Hey everybody, welcome. Merry Christmas, Happy Holidays, Happy Hanukkah, all that good stuff. Here we are, LinkedIn Live Q&A, and today we're going to do a special LinkedIn Live Q&A grab bag. We'll talk about that in a second, but I am really excited to have you here today. Again, I'm Brian Horvath, and my purpose is to help people like you and like me to know, live, and love the purpose for your career and finances. And specifically, every Wednesday at noon, we do this LinkedIn Live Q&A where I help dive into things that you need to know about LinkedIn and how you can use it to your benefit. And really excited here today to be able to jump into this grab bag with you, where we're going to jump into multiple questions, frequently asked questions I've received over the years. Before we get into that, let's go ahead and talk through LinkedIn Live Q&A. If you have a question, if you'd like to email me your question, go ahead and do so at brian@brianhorvath.com. Each and every week, you can email questions in, no matter if it's a Monday, a Sunday, or a Wednesday. While this is happening, email me your questions, and most likely we'll use them in a show, and I'll definitely get back to you personally to help you identify what's the best next step for you to answer that question that you proposed and posed to me. So email your questions to me every single Wednesday at noon. We do this thing. I'll continue to remind you. Put it in your calendar. Share it with a friend. Share it with someone who maybe is a job seeker or somebody that's a business owner trying to generate leads, whatever the case may be that you want to use LinkedIn for, whether it's now in 2021 as you prepare for the future in 2022. Use LinkedIn. It's the #1 most professional network in the world. 740 plus million people on it. You hear me say that if you followed this LinkedIn Live Q&A over the weeks. You hear me say it ad nauseum, for me as well, by the way, that it is a place to be found and to find next opportunities, with whether it be a new job, whether it be a new career, whether it be a partner, whether it be to volunteer. It's a great place for you to go ahead and seek to serve and offer value, showcase your value to the marketplace, because the marketplace needs you. And so LinkedIn Live Q&A, email me your questions every single Wednesday at noon. And I also want to offer you the opportunity to subscribe today for free to my YouTube channel, where you'll get notified not only of when I post these recordings, these live recordings, which then won't be live anymore, right? But you can subscribe today for free at brianhorvath.com/YouTube, where I help you with your careers, your finances, and your purpose with multiple videos that I post throughout the month, throughout the week. And really, like it says down there at the bottom of the screen, helping you and me to know, live, and love the purpose for our career and finances. So when you subscribe for free at my YouTube channel, go to brianhorvath.com/YouTube. You'll get notified of when I'm either going live or when a video has been posted, and so on and so forth. I also want to offer you the opportunity, if you're not on it already, to jump onto my weekly newsletter, where I custom and tailor content for you in 3 different categories based on your life purpose, your career, and your finances, helping you with all kinds of tips, tools, tricks, hacks, encouragements, stories, videos, inspiration, motivation, whatever the case may be in those categories. Each and every week, Tuesday mornings, I email those out. Go ahead and get on my email list by going to brianhorvath.com/book, where you can go ahead and subscribe to my email list and also receive that weekly newsletter while getting my free ebook, Your Purpose: How to Know It, Live It, and Love It. So good stuff. Good stuff. So again, LinkedIn Live Q&A, you can watch us every Wednesday at noon. Today, of course, is Thursday, and it's because yesterday I took my son Grayson out golfing after early dismissal. So we did not do this LinkedIn Live yesterday at noon, but today on Thursday we're doing it at noon. But we'll be back to Wednesdays next week, and right there in front of you, you can catch the YouTube channel. You can catch it on my Facebook group. You can check it out on my Twitter feed, all that kind of stuff. You can find these both live and also the recording. But like I said a minute ago, the best place is going to be for you to go to YouTube and get that stuff. So good stuff. So let's go back to let's get cracking at it. What do you think? Let's get going here today. Today's topic, like I said a minute ago, is the LinkedIn Live Q&A, and it's a grab bag. It's a grab bag today where basically I want to help you be able to I'm going to take my frequently asked questions. And that I get in my trainings and my workshops and my coaching, and be able to pose to you the answers to those questions. That's what I want to share with you today. That's the whole idea of the grab bag. Back in the day, I think my mom's family might still do it, but I remember as a kid, every year after Thanksgiving, my mom and my dad and relatives in the family would get together in Pittsburgh, where I'm from, and after Thanksgiving, they would get together and have a grab bag party. Which basically they're pulling lists of names of everyone's going to be in the grab bag this year, so that on Christmas, folks can have, it's like a gift exchange, right? So if I had my Aunt Linda's name or something like that, or my mom had my Uncle Joe's name or whatever, that they would buy gifts for those people specifically on the list. Your family might have done that too. And that's the whole heart behind this grab bag here, is to be able to take a gift of a question that you have that you give me, because honestly, questions you ask me are gifts, because I get to learn as much as you do, if not more. So it's definitely a gift to me, and then provide you a gift in return of a solution to the question you specifically had. And the cool thing is, the question you've asked, other people have too. So everybody wins. You win, I win, and the other people listening to this win. So it's a great gift exchange for all of us. And so that was kind of the heart today, as I thinking of the 12 days of Christmas. Well, I got 12 questions that I get asked most frequently when it comes to LinkedIn, and I'm going to share the answers with those here with you today. So it's like a grab bag, a hodgepodge, a potpourri, a day of multiple questions and answers for you to be able to use no matter the time of year. But specifically with being Christmas, I thought we'd do a little Christmas episode here. Okay, so the foundation, though, I want you to understand, the foundation of how I will address these questions is what I share on all my YouTube videos, is that I have a philosophy, kind of an attitude, a life perspective, is that I want to help you seek to serve the marketplace. I want to help you add value to the marketplace. I want to help you be known for seeking to serve, for having that heart to share, to offer value to the marketplace. And that comes out of understanding, knowing what you do best and sharing it with those who need it the most. So what do you do best? What are your skills? What are your abilities? What are your dreams, goals, and passions? What are your experiences? What are your training? What's your education? Put that all into a blender and come out with what do you do best, and seeking to serve those who need it the most. Those are either business owners that you may have as clients. That might be employers that you're serving as an employee. That might be your church or your community, any volunteering opportunities you have. What do you do best and who needs it the most? Bringing those two together will help you to know, live, and love the purpose for your career and your finances, as well as, I believe, your overall life, because you are made for a purpose, my friend. And when you're on purpose, you're going to love it, because that's how you're made. It's why you're made, for that purpose. So that's my philosophy, helping you seek to serve, understanding what you do best, and sharing it with those, serving those who need it the most. So that's the basis today of how I'm going to answer these LinkedIn questions. All right, so let's jump into it. The first question I got is, what is the difference between a connection and a contact? So if you go into LinkedIn, you'll see, that there's an opportunity for you to connect with people throughout the LinkedIn network. Male, female, black, white, red, yellow, green, North America, South America, Europe, the Pacific Islands, whatever the case may be, right? All those folks, all of us, as we connect together, individuals connecting are connections. And contacts are actually contacts that you may import into your LinkedIn. So you can give LinkedIn access to your address book within your phone or your computer, and all those folks in your address book are considered contacts, right? You can pull in your contact list, and LinkedIn will do some work behind the scenes and try to connect those contacts to people that are on the platform. Okay. Sometimes you want to, so what's going to happen with that is then LinkedIn will say, hey, based on your contacts, based on your address book, we suggest you connect with these people. And those people may very closely, if not 100%, match up with folks that are on the platform already. And you'll probably find a lot of synchronicity or a lot of overlap of folks that you've already connected with that are in your address book, and so on and so forth. But also, you understand that contacts and connections are often interchanged amongst folks like me who train on LinkedIn or whatnot, that, hey, you want to have this many contacts, you want to have this many connections, and sometimes they mean the same thing. What I'm trying to share with you is that you want to connect with as many as your contacts on LinkedIn, so that you have an increasing number of connections, so that you can be able to be found in a better way, at a higher value in search results, or a higher position in search results, that you can have more people be able to see your profile, more recruiters, headhunters, hiring managers, and people's key leaders of influence, those kinds of things. So just understand that connections and contacts often are used interchangeably, but specifically LinkedIn talks about having connections where you want to get to at least 500 plus connections, okay? And we won't even break it down any further. There's also follows, people you can follow, companies you can follow, organizations you can follow. And sometimes even within those organizations, you will have connections with contacts within those organizations. But really, it's not that difficult. Focus on building your network through connections and leveraging your already existing contact structure to build your online LinkedIn network with a growing number of connections. Okay, got it? Good. So the next question is, I don't love my profile. Will it hurt me if I don't have one or one that I think is beneficial? Well, hopefully if you're the person that asked that question and you're on this live now, this is going to help you love your profile. I want to help you get to know, live, and love not only your purpose, but love your profile, because in your LinkedIn profile is how you're going to showcase your purpose, how you're going to seek to serve those who need most what you do best, right? So I think as you continue to build your profile and continue to make changes and increase the your connections and even grow in your career, and you add that to your profile, eventually you're going to build a profile that's solid. And there's coaching programs I have and training that will help you to do that, so you will love your profile, so you'll be confident, so you'll be clear, so you'll be able to connect. That's the whole point, with the right people, because you're out there positively sharing your profile. And that will make it ultimately beneficial, right? I want to help you make the right connections on LinkedIn, help you make the right contacts. See that? Connections, contacts. But I really want to help you grow your career, advance your career. I want to help you serve, because I believe when you start serving others, not only will you be rewarded for it financially, but also the attaboys, the kudos, the good vibes, the purpose that you're living in will benefit you, and you'll be willing to, ready to add those to your profile, and then you'll be more confident in your profile. So it's kind of like this, like circular reference. If you're used to using Excel, if you make too many references across different cells, all of a sudden Excel goes, what are you trying to do here, buddy? But in this case, your LinkedIn profile becomes very fluid, and again, it's digital, so you don't have to be it's not going to the printing press. Once you make that change, and that's forever amen. No, you can continue to build upon it, change it, tweak it. And as a good friend of mine says, who might even be listening, you can try something out, whether it's a piece of copy, whether it's a certain section, whether it's a certain order of things. Track it, see how it's going, see how it's affecting change for your LinkedIn views or your connection requests, or see how it's working out for you. How do you feel about it? And then if you don't like it, modify it. Try, track, modify. So thanks, Melissa. Appreciate that always. And share that almost every video, I think. So good stuff. Good question. So that way it's beneficial for you. Our next question is, should I keep my most recent title if I'm currently unemployed? Well, I understand why you might want to do that. Nobody on LinkedIn wants to share with anyone that they're unemployed, especially if it's not for a good reason or purpose, or they're just not happy about that unemployed status. But you aren't unemployable. You may be unemployable if you have things in your profile that aren't of integrity or are not accurate. Maybe a white lie even. No, you want to be 100% clear that you started and ended a certain position at a certain time, and know that you can always explain it in the description if necessary. It was one of the biggest ones I see is contract. So if you're a 1099, I have a couple 1099 clients, that if my contract ended, it doesn't mean I was terminated for poor performance. We just had a contract from date A to date Z, and it ended. Well, you can go ahead and put that into the reason why you're not employed there anymore. So it's not a black eye. It's not a problem. It doesn't mean you're unemployable or unhireable. It's just you had a contract that ended, right? So end that position at the date it ended. Now, there are some ways, some techniques, won't get into them here, that you can make sure that you have a current job title, because honestly, a current job title is going to get you the most quote-unquote points within the algorithmic structure for keyword search. When an employer goes to search for you, or when a hiring manager, or even somebody that may want a recruiter wants to recruit you, that having a current job title and having the best keywords in that current job title, that's going to be the most bang for your buck when it comes to keywords. So if you don't have a current job title, if you're unemployed right now, you're missing out on those points. There's ways to work around that I won't share here. I share in coaching and other programs, and Maven. I think one of my past YouTube videos have shared that. But just keep that in mind, that you want to have the utmost integrity always and forever. Okay? Each moment with you. Some of you got that song reference. Okay. Should I use my LinkedIn if I'm currently retired? Absolutely. Absolutely. And again, my point would be back to seeking to serve. Just because you may be currently retired doesn't mean you don't have value. You have tremendous value. And matter of fact, in some cases, many cases, more time to share that value with others because you don't necessarily require a paycheck or another. So if you're currently retired, also, does that mean you're going to be uncurrently retired at one point? You're going to go back into the workforce? If that's the case, then you definitely want to maintain a LinkedIn profile. What have you been doing between your last job ending and your retirement section to where you're starting off again? There are super duper ways to show your skills, to showcase your value, and have a current title even by being available for counseling or consulting. One of my friends, Brian Ray, who's a great mentor to me, he's was the founding member, if you will, one of the founding team of Crossroads Career Services Incorporated, which is a 501c3 nonprofit that helps people in their career transition, where they're at a career crossroads. But he always says, I retired, but I'm still active in serving people, that he gives advice, counsel, and referrals. Well, in his LinkedIn, he could definitely say that. He's not employed as a W-2, although some people have 1099'd him or have paid him a certain little fee for him providing advice, counsel, and referrals. So if you're retired, you definitely want to be able to showcase your value, seek to serve those who need most, which you do best. And LinkedIn is a nice way to do that. Plus, it keeps you sharp too, having that on there. And you can also coach others potentially that are coming up in corporate America or a nonprofit space or in business in general, and help them learn how to use LinkedIn to further their career. So I think it's an overall win-win, even if you're retired. Okay, next question. I'm not searching for a job right now. Why is LinkedIn important to me? Well, it's kind of like the farmer that says, I'm not harvesting right now. Well, what are you doing? You're either planting seeds, you're either cleaning up the vineyard or the farm, or you're pruning, or you're watering, or you're maintaining, whatever the case may be. So you're preparing for that harvest. I would say the same thing here. LinkedIn is the number one place in the world for professional networking, online especially. You want to have that up to date because you always want to be building your network. Remember my foundation, seeking to serve. No matter if you're employed or retired or a business owner, I truly believe that if you want to make the right connections on LinkedIn and in the world and in business and in nonprofit work or volunteering, whatever the case may be, LinkedIn is a great place for you to showcase your value, right? And if you're not searching for a job right now, the worst thing you want to do is, when you are, be behind. You don't want to be chasing the wave. You want to be in front of the wave so you can ride that wave to that, and have that experience and have that joy of riding that wave, right? So continue to tweak. Maybe you tone down your activity on LinkedIn as far as making tweaks to your profile because you're not in an active job search. But most businesses require networking to be, for that person or that business to be successful. Most businesses, all businesses, require leads, require opportunities to solve problems. One of the ways you can identify problems and then solve them is by building your network and hearing what those problems are in the marketplace. So using LinkedIn is not just for job search. It's not just when you're unemployed. Matter of fact, it's for every single day. So carve out some time, depending where you're at in your business, depending where you're at in your W-2 work, or even thinking about leaving a job or starting a new business, whatever the case may be. Have a LinkedIn profile. Get it right. Get it ready to be confident. Be confident with it. Be clear with it, and start connecting always and always and always. Okay. So again, LinkedIn is a great online search tool, online connecting tool, online learning tool, but it also helps you bridge the gap between online and in person. Keep working on it. Keep working on it always. Okay, great questions today. Great questions. What's the best way to know if my headline is going to be effective? What's the best way to know? The best way to know is to start. The best way to know is try some things. But I will give you some best practice advice. Don't have everything plus the kitchen sink in your headline. Consider a 4-word keyword phrase that helps describe best what you helps describe to the ultimate what you do best. And consider not just your current job title, go beyond that. What job title do you want to go after next if you're in a search? But I would say ultimately you want to have the 4 best keywords that describe you, put them into a phrase, and add that make that be your headline. And then, as I mentioned earlier, try it, the response, or try putting it down, track the response, and modify as necessary. Great question there. So I just want to jump over to, again, just to remind you guys, just take a break, that you can subscribe to my YouTube channel. You can watch a lot of videos. A lot of videos here, or a lot of questions I'm addressing here, are answered more in-depthly, more in full on different YouTube videos that I put under the How to Make Right Connections on LinkedIn folder, if you will, or sub-channel. I forget what the heck it is. Group playlist. There it is. Pull that down. So in that playlist, How to Make the Right Connections on LinkedIn, you'll see every single week the LinkedIn Live Q&A that are in there. And you can, of course, scroll through that to get the answers you need. But more in-depth questions are being, or more in-depth answers are provided to a lot of these same questions. But this is a nice grab bag of questions for you today. Okay? So let's see here. Let's get back to our question. So here's another question. If I'm updating my LinkedIn profile, what my current employer or boss think I'm looking to leave? Well, it depends what you put in your profile, right? Obviously. But I would say there are ways to write copy or write the content for your profile that doesn't say you're looking to leave, but you're looking to connect. You're looking to network. You're looking to build your personal brand. And when you're building a good personal brand and you're part of a company under that company's umbrella, that company will only be lifted up by you having a stellar personal brand. Make LinkedIn be that place where you're showcasing your stellar personal brand. And matter of fact, there's something called 360-degree leadership that you, no matter of your position or title, pay grade, pay band, whatever, that you want to lead up, sideways with your peers, and down to those who may report to you. But reporting up to your boss would say, hey boss, I'm on LinkedIn. This is what I'm doing on LinkedIn. I'm getting a lot of great results from it. I would encourage you to update your profile as well. And depending on what kind of business you're in, that can be great for the company overall to have more business come your way. So it could offer you an opportunity to add value to your team members to help them become better on the platform, bring more revenue in by bringing in more leads and closing those leads and those opportunities. So again, how you word it, and even in privacy settings, you can turn on certain notifications to your network when you're making tweaks that may reference just a bit even that you're out there in a job search. Again, be smart on social media. Even if we delete it, somehow the innards of the database or the, what's the word I'm looking for? Mainframe, this stuff is stored, don't think it's completely deleted. So be cognizant of that. Great stuff, everybody. This is great questions. So how do I squeeze the word recruiter into my profile if I'm not a recruiter? Now, what this is referencing is when I share on one of my webinars or trainings, I talk about the LinkedIn lever. And the LinkedIn lever is made up of three things: having the right keywords, having a large network or increasingly enlarging of your network, and then also having this statement I learned from a friend of mine, his name is Greg Wells. He calls it relevancy. And relevancy can best be explained like this. Let's say you're at a big conference of the medical, or industry. Let's just call it the medical industry for sake of example. And you guys are meeting for your cocktail hour, or your kickoff, or your welcome to the conference party on a Tuesday night or Thursday, whenever the conference starts, right? Well, tomorrow they say we're going to be breaking off into different meeting rooms or salons in the hotel. We're going to say, hey, if you're obviously here in the medical conference, if you're a part of the medical device manufacturing portion of our industry, you're going to meet in salon 1 or A. If you're a emergency room doctor, you're going to meet in salon B. If you're a pediatrician, you're going to meet, over in the East Wing, whatever the case may be. Now all of a sudden you went from this massive room, this big room, to a smaller room, more detailed, more more focused group. That's kind of like relevancy. All of a sudden you're more relevant to those people around you in a more specific way, as opposed to you're just a part of a medical conference. But you start breaking it down into smaller nuggets or chunks. Now all of a sudden you can read each other's name tags. You don't have to peer across the room and squint. You can get to talk with people more than a second. You can do more than a long distance wave. Now you have inner circle kind of connections. That's what you want to do with words like recruiter, hiring manager, those kinds of things. You want to have those words in your about section so that you are more relevant to those recruiters and hiring managers. Because when LinkedIn looks at those words in your profile, like those folks that are searching for people like you, now all of a sudden LinkedIn finds a better connection. Not that just you're in each other's network, not that just you have the right keywords, but that you have specific keywords that are saying that that person's searching for you. Now, I'm not a recruiter. Maybe you're not a recruiter. But if we have the word recruiter in our profile somewhere, that's going to create a relevant connection, a more refined, more specific, focused connection. But not many people know about this. And that means they're not being seen by the right people as much as they could be. Psst, don't tell anyone. It's a secret. It's a secret sauce. It's a hidden ingredient, right? What's really in that breading of that Kentucky Fried Chicken? No, use this, share it, let people know. It's a way that the algorithm can be worked around to help you get into the right people's inboxes or right on the right people's eyes and for the right people. Okay? So if you have questions about that, you can email me at brian@brianhorvath.com. But great question there. What are the overall security risks in accepting connections? Well, geez, what are the overall security risks in connecting with anyone at all, in person or online? So really, it's about your comfort level. I think I have the premise of I want to invite or I want to accept anyone's networking request on LinkedIn. For me, I'm not posting pictures of my children. I don't have my address on there. I don't have my bank account information, of course. I don't have any of that kind of stuff that would really concern me, that wouldn't be public knowledge already. And if somebody really wants to know some details about me, they can go find it somewhere else. LinkedIn, we don't have to, I don't worry about LinkedIn. I wouldn't worry about it. I would say that, even when you have call to actions or phone numbers in your LinkedIn, I've never been spam called. I may have been called by a salesperson, but you know what? That's a risk I'm going to take. It's a risk I'm willing to take. And I don't have to respond, although I choose to respond. I like to sometimes see how salespeople are doing their business, either driving sales or starting communication or starting conversations. But I think the overall security risks, you can look in your privacy settings and take a look about how to turn certain things off for folks that aren't directly connected to you. But I'm a LinkedIn open networker, so I have the heartbeat to say that I want to expand my network. I want to seek to serve, to add value. And if I get a salesperson that wants to connect with me, and I know they're going to sell me something or try to sell me something, that's a good thing. That's how the economy goes around. But I also say, again, my philosophy is they've done a lot of work to build their network. If they're a salesperson, they're huge into lead generation. They're huge into connecting. They're huge into ASKing, to hopefully GET. I want to have my network connected to their network. They've done a lot of legwork, especially if that salesperson is in my industry. I want to be more connected with folks that are similar, potentially ideal clients or ideal prospects, ideal customers of mine. I hope that makes sense. I would not worry about security. Again, you're not posting anything on there that somebody couldn't get somewhere else. So just a thought. If I misunderstood that question, email me. Let me know at brian@brianhorvath.com. Would hurt my profile if I don't include a picture? And I'm just looking here. We got a couple questions left, so time is coming to an end. Would hurt my profile if I don't include a picture? Yes. You want to include a professional headshot or a professional-like headshot. You will get 14 times more profile views, more clicks on your profile when you have a headshot. First of all, I think it means you invested into your profile enough to care that it's a good picture. Secondly, when people see your smile, you look more identifiable, more relatable. That's a good thing. And 3, add 1 and 2 together, and you got 3. I just think you need to have it. I think it makes a more personal brand effect across all your social media. And I did a YouTube video on that. Or LinkedIn Live specifically on that. You can check that out at YouTube. I'll try to put the link in the show notes here. Okay, the other one is where the overall risk. Looks like I added a question. We already did that one. Is LinkedIn Premium worth it? I think absolutely. Especially if you're in a job search, it's worth it. And one of my favorite reasons why is maybe I'm just because I'm expressive or a social person and curious, or just because I teach on LinkedIn, but I love seeing who's looked at my profile. It really allows me to see who's taking a look at my profile, and if it makes sense to me and piques my interest, I might go back and look at theirs and start having a conversation, opening up with, hey, I see you looked at my profile. Didn't know if you were thought about maybe doing business together, or you had a question for me, or if there's someone I can connect you with, please let me know. And by the way, let's go ahead and connect here on LinkedIn if you're not connected with them already. Okay, so you see that? They're doing the work of clicking on you. You get to see, if you're a LinkedIn Premium member, who did that, and then you can engage in a conversation with them as it makes sense. It gives you a little bit of a head start, especially if you're more introverted, to be able to make the right connections on LinkedIn. And maybe even there's an opportunity awaiting for you post that conversation being started. All right, LinkedIn Premium does a lot more than that, but that is my favorite thing. I think it's about at minimum $29.99 a month. With taxes, $32.95 or something like that, depending on where you're at. And if it's a little bit more, well, what isn't taking a price increase, right? So just keep that in mind of where you're at with your job search too. If you're in a job search, I would say definitely invest in LinkedIn Premium. You can write it off, although $32.95 a month is not a great write-off, but you're in a job transition, in a job search, your mileage, anything you spend to and from getting to a interview or networking, all that stuff you can write off. Now, again, keep good records and check with your CPA or accountant or about that kind of stuff specifically. But that's a good thing to keep in mind. You also get a 30-day trial. So if you'd like to trial it out, then wouldn't hurt you either. So I think it's definitely worth it for a lot more ways than one. Oh, and another one is you get in-mail credits. In-mail means you don't have to bypass, or you can bypass having to have someone be a connection request. So as you're checking in with recruiters or headhunters or even hiring managers or specific leaders at companies, you can in-mail them, which means you don't have to be a connection first. Now, whether they see that or not depends on their settings they have and that kind of stuff. Oh, the other one with LinkedIn Premium is that you can make your profile open, which means you're not requesting, someone doesn't have to connect with you first and go through all that to be able to send you an in-mail or a mail for free. Now, if I'm in a job search, I want to make it as easy as possible for someone to get a hold of me and reach me. Then I'm going to go ahead and have an open profile. That's available to you with LinkedIn Premium as well. All right. So again, I hope this was helpful. The 12 days of Christmas is here. And actually, what day is it? Actually, it's almost here if you look at it. But just thought I'd get a little bit ahead of that and offer you a LinkedIn Live Q&A, LinkedIn grab bag, so we can have fun together on the show. Hope you really enjoyed it. I know I did. Again, every time we do these things, I get to learn a ton as well. So thank you for that opportunity. It's a gift to me. All right, let's look here. We have LinkedIn Live Q&A next Wednesday. We'll be back on schedule at noon. There's the channels for you to participate. And if you have any questions, go ahead and email me those at brian@brianhorvath.com, and I'll be glad to get those to you or get the answers to you on the show. Guaranteed someone else has them. So be generous, ask, be humble, ask. I'm not going to share who asked it, but ask anyway because other people are going to have it. And as we close up today, thank you for being here. LinkedIn can seem like a lot, but it's a lot of good stuff. It's a lot of opportunity for you to make the right connections, seeking to serve those who need most, which you do best. To help you do that with more breadth, depth, and in-steps, and some live access to me that you wouldn't have otherwise, I am launching on February 2022, so 2222, the Ultimate LinkedIn Profile. And it's a digital course I'm really excited about. And that is going to be opening up in the new year. You can go ahead and get on the wait list now at horvathtraining.com/waitlist. And I'll be glad to have you get on the wait list, and you'll get a bunch of opportunities to go deeper and wider on LinkedIn, not only if you're in a job search or if you're in lead generation mode, but forever and ever keep rocking it in the online space with networking. And it really does play into in-person networking as well. LinkedIn's a great place for you to get a clear message, to be confident in your networking, and to connect with the right people that are going to help you advance your career, and you helping them advance their career and business too. So long, everybody. So glad to be here with you. We'll see you next